Rockstar deserves a raise for adding a strange man in Red Dead Redemption because still to this day, I'm trying to figure out who this man is. I think I have a good idea on who the strange man is, but this is what I think. And it doesn't mean that I'm right. I'm just giving my opinion on who the strange man might be in Red Dead Redemption. And plus, I see a lot of content creators. Listen, I don't hate on nobody's content, but I just feel like every time when I look at a video and people talking about the strange man, they just be yapping and they don't even get straight to the point. So I'm going to just get straight to the point on who the strange man is or who I think he is, in my opinion.
Then why would you remember me, friend? You've forgotten far more important people than me.
What's your game, friend?
I don't have a game, John. Listen. Sometimes I just wish I'd known more about life. Wish I'd had better guidance. A friend of mine was drunk as a skunk in the saloon on Thieves' Landing. I think he's going to be unfaithful to his dear wife. Why don't you head over there and see if you can advise him how best to proceed?
What do you think I am?
I know what you are, John. Just if you've got the time, friend.
At first, I thought the strange man was a resemblance of death. If you do anything that's morally wrong and you see the strange man, 9 times out of 10, your time on this earth is done. But that kind of doesn't make any sense now that I think about it. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense is because there's a man that owns a store in Armadello, and Armadello is one of the most sickest places in the whole map in Red Dead Redemption 2. And the person who owns this store, his name is Herbert Moon. Some of you might know who Herbert Moon is, but for the people who don't know who Herbert Moon is, Herbert Moon is an extreme racist, and he decided to cut his daughter off completely because she decided to date somebody or marry somebody who was Jewish. Now, if you look closely at Herbert Moon's store, you can see a picture of the strange man in his shop. Now, I think the strange man tried his best to rekindle the relationship between Herbert Moon and his daughter, and he tried to get Herbert Moon to stop being so racist, but in my opinion, there's a lot of messages about Herbert Moon in the strange man's cabin. In the strange man's cabin, there's a letter that says, "I offered you happiness for many generations. You made your choice." And it says Armadello at the bottom. So we know that has to do with Herbert Moon. But you remember when I said that the strange man might be the Reaper or he might be the resemblance of death? If the strange man wanted Herbert Moon to be dead already, Herbert Moon would have been dead. Matter of fact, there's a sickness going around the whole town of Armadello, and the only person who can't get sick is Herbert Moon. And Herbert Moon is in Red Dead Redemption 1.
Well, I don't like Jews, or colored folk, or natives, now that you mention it.
Well, you're a nice, kind-hearted man to meet in a time of trouble.
Kind does not come into it.
Why? What are you talking about?
Why? I bet you like Catholics. I can't stand them neither, nor women. Fabians, socialists, homosexuals, Asians, or British. Between them, they've ruined this country. Ruined it. It was a good country once. Now people are eating each other, and it's all the fault of the Jewish, British, Catholic, homosexual elite and their ideas. Well, I, for one, won't stand for it.
And now that I think about it, I'm shocked that Rockstar was even allowed to get this dialogue off. Herbert Moon, whoever was playing Herbert Moon, they was wilding. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Now, what I want to say is I think the strange man, I think he's a test of morale. Because think about all the people who got tested by the strange man. Arthur got tested by the strange man. Herbert had a choice from the strange man. And John got tested by the strange man. And before you be like, oh, Arthur got tested by the strange man. How did Arthur get tested by the strange man? Let me cook, sit back and relax.
You're a good man, and here. You want a pen? It's one of them steel ones.
Oh. That's very kind of you. But I'm not a good man, Jimmy Brooks. Not usually. You see, I was in Blackwater. I killed people. And maybe I should have killed you. Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks.
Now, a lot of people think that Jimmy Brooks is the strange man. I don't think that Jimmy Brooks is the strange man at all. I think the strange man has sent Jimmy Brooks out there to test Arthur's morale. And depending on what you choose, if you choose to kill Jimmy Brooks or if you choose to let him live, the strange man is testing Arthur in that first encounter. Because when you go to the strange man's cabin, there's a writing that says there was a man called Jimmy Brooks who was always running into crooks until one chased him down and he had to talk his way around it. Jimmy Brooks isn't as dumb as he looks. So that means that the strange man was there when Arthur had encountered Jimmy Brooks. So the strange man is definitely watching. He's either watching Arthur Morgan or he's watching the whole Vanderlyn gang, because the strange man does mention Dutch in Red Dead Redemption 1.
Do I know you?
I hope so. I seem to know you.
I'm pretty good at remembering faces.
Are you? Do you remember Hattie McCourt's face?
Who?
She was a girl Dutch Vanderlyn shot in the head on that raid on the ferry a few years back. Same one you got shot on. Pretty girl, until her eye was hanging out by a thread of tendon and her brain was plastered over a wall.
So it's safe to say that the strange man is keeping tabs on the Vanderlyn gang as a whole, and I think Dutch had failed his test when it came to the strange man, because Dutch killed the innocent woman in Hattie McCourt. On the Blackwater ferry that went wrong, Dutch killed the innocent woman. Arthur could pass the strange man's test depending on what honor the player chooses to go with. So if you're running around killing innocent folks in Saint Denis, 9 times out of 10, you failed the strange man's test. Yes, I know exactly who you are. Yes, you watching this video, I know exactly who you are. And John could have passed the strange man's test too if he didn't go after Micah, or if he didn't kill 2 random Mexicans for taking his hat as soon as he landed in Mexico.
Tell me your name or I won't be responsible for my actions.
Oh, but you will. You will be responsible. This is a fine spot. See you around, cowboy.
Damn you!
Yes, many have.
And you can tell that even in his old age, John didn't really learn too much, because he thought the solution was to shoot a random person just because he didn't know his name. He just didn't know that the strange man was, well, he was already watching him. But yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. So moral of the story, who I think the strange man is, I think the strange man is just a test of morale. He's going to test your morale to see if you make the right choices or the wrong choices. And if you make the wrong choices, you're going to suffer. Leave a like if you enjoyed today's video and let me know in the comments, who do y'all think the strange man is? I'm out.